Hello everyone, welcome to SR Academy. Okay, welcome to my YouTube channel. So my name is Professor Sharif. So here in this video we are going to discuss about the model question paper of the subject biology for engineers. That is, the subject code for this particular subject is 21 PE 45. And so before we start explaining about the model question paper, we will see what does syllabus has to say. So we are going to discuss about the particular whole subject, the syllabus first, and then the question bank and the possible answers, how we can frame your answers. Okay, so with the help of many the COs and POs, and with the help of the notes, and also how exactly the answer need to be framed in order to get good marks in the exams, that we will discuss in this particular class. So first we will discuss syllabus. So syllabus for biology for engineers in VTU. Okay, this is the syllabus. So you are having the course code as 21B 2045. CIE marks is 50, that is continuous evaluation system, continuous internal evaluation, that is nothing but you are having this thing, and then in sem-end examination, that will be 50. So here usually it is taken out of 100 marks and reduced to 50. So that you already might have got these internal marks. Out of 50 you should have minimum around 35 to 40% marks. So teaching hours, all those things, that is not required for you guys. So SSC will be again 50, that means 100 marks it will be there, that will be reduced to 50 marks. So your 50 marks from internal, 50 marks from external, that will be clubbed together. So we have to now score. So exam hours, only 2 hours for this. Okay, so 2 hour exams will be there, not 3 hours according to the VTU syllabus. Okay, so next, course credits. So that is what it's very important to know, that this subject is mostly theory subject, requires a lot of diagrams to be drawn in every concept. So try to avoid simply writing all the whole topic notes. You need to make sure that you need to read the question first, understand the questions, and then you answer. Okay, that I will tell you how to begin with that. Okay, so here course objectives, there are 4 course objectives are there. Those are nothing but COs. So COs, to familiarize the students with the basic biological concepts and their engineering problems, engineering applications. So whatever the engineering field it is, that not so with them, with the help of them, like since nowadays it is everything is a multidisciplinary concept. So biology concept, if you understand, you can come up with some other application from your own field. For example, CS background people can come up. Recently the AI/ML is coming, so AI application in biological science, like that. So material science, like for example, if you are from mechanical background or material science background, you can come up with the some new ideas where the biomaterials can be designed, okay, which are biocompatible in nature, and the prosthesis or implants can be done by the particular mechanical engineering because of the understanding of material science. Same thing goes for civil engineering, okay, where we use bioconcrete, which is one of the topic what we have studied also far. Okay, with the help of them, for EC and electrical students, we are having the machines like EEG, ECG. Most of the biomedical field is nothing but 30% of bio, 70% of electronics. Okay, including your CT scan, MRI scan, everything requires your hardware, that is electronics and electrical background students. And biotechnology, no need to tell. So it's a combination of all the fields. Okay, and biomedical also, and there are few more branches are there nowadays which are coming, like AI/ML, cyber security. For them also it will be helpful, for where healthcare sectors, the data storage, data transfer, all those things, it will be helpful. So engineering application, their engineering applications means in that particular stream. That was about C1. C2, that is course objective, second objective is of this particular course is to enable the students with understanding of biodesign principles or create novel devices and structures. That's what we have discussed, right? What are the biodesigns? One we have discussed in module 2, biodesign 2, that we will be discussing the next module, like brain as CPU, heart as pumping system, kidney as filtration system, like that. Okay, so and eye as camera, all those things are principles and as well as the concepts which can be inspiration for new engineers to come up with their new ideas or new structures. Okay, next, to provide the students an appreciation of biological systems that can be redesigned as a substitute product for natural systems. So usually we are going for this particular appraisal, or you can say the appreciation of biological systems that can be redesigned. That means again you do something new design with the already existing design which can substitute a product. Okay, that means a new product can substitute already existing product for a natural systems. That was your C3, CO3. CO4 is to motivate the student to develop interdisciplinary vision of the biological engineering. So interdisciplinary engineering in the sense where almost all field comes into picture. So that's how the particular field is going to evolve. That particular feature is going to evolve where all the fields will meet. Understanding? So that was about the COs and teaching learning processes. That is not for you. And here module 1 we discussed about all these concepts. I don't want to name it. Module 2 also we have completed all the concepts here, including defibrillator, from the starting of brain as CPU to the defibrillators. And also we have left out this module 3 as of now because the most of you were asking about the model question paper discussion. So I am doing that now in this video. So once it is completed, I will start with the module 3, which hardly takes around 7 to 8 videos. We can complete that 7 to 8 classes. Next we are having module 4, that is nature, bio-inspired materials and mechanisms. So bio-inspired materials and mechanisms, that we already list in playlist. It is all the videos are available. You can go for it, and in the description also this playlist is mentioned. Go through my playlist where almost all 5 modules will be covered. So far 4 modules are completed except module 3. Okay, next ecolocation is in that we have discussed about 2 different concepts, then photosynthesis, then so on to the PFCs, that is perfluorocarbons. Okay, next we are having the last module, which is trends in bioengineering, which is qualitative, not quantitative. All are almost qualitative here. See, qualitative is mentioned because there is no solutions or what to say, the exercise is involved. So we are having the trends in bioengineering. So where printing techniques, 3D printing techniques, ear printing, bone printing, skin printing, all those things we studied. Then electrical tongue, electrical nose, those things studied. DNA origami, biocomputing we studied. Then bioimaging with artificial intelligence, okay, which is helping for disease diagnosis. Self healing for bioconcrete we discussed. Then removal of bioremediation, biomining via microbial surface adsorption also we discussed. All those things comes under this particular module 5. We have completed that. Next, course outcome, this thing is nothing but whatever where COs were there, that was the sort outcome it will be. So these are the assessment that we might have got, the 3 tests, 2 assignments and 1 any kind of quiz or something like that. Then 50 marks is already fixed. Now another 50 marks you are going to study. So these are the materials which they are giving you to read. Okay, so if you go through my materials or my videos, I hope I have covered almost all materials which are given here. Okay, so you don't have to worry about much things about the concepts, because concepts are same even though if it is written by this guy or this guy or this guy. Okay, so that's how the things goes. So that is the syllabus discussion. Now coming to the model question paper. So model question, in order to understand the model question paper, first we will see how the question paper can be set. So the question paper can be set based on the whatever the marks which are involved. So but the marks, it totally depends on how exactly you are going to identify or the question, or you need to understand the question first. You need to identify what exactly the question says. First, let's start the model question paper of this particular subject, that is from module 1, module 2, like that module wise I have framed few questions. You can add on one particular question, one particular topic can have many questions based on the the framing of the questions. Okay, for example, here I have written write a short note on carbohydrates and its applications. So I can also ask what are carbohydrates, explain about its classification, understanding. That can be my second question, but I have not given that as a second question because it's a waste of time, and even you don't have to read, but it's a very basic concept that you have already understood. For example, now I can ask what are carbohydrates, explain the classification, second question. Third question, define carbohydrates, explain monosaccharides, disaccharides and polysaccharides. All belong to the same things, understanding. So I am giving you one concept ka only one type of question. Okay, so I can give 4 or 5 questions with the same thing. I can elaborate the question for 2 to 3 lines, but that is unnecessary and you don't need that. If you are in that case, I will be having 50 questions per module. So then you will get confused. Then you might feel it's a very huge to study. So you just go through these, write a short note on carbohydrates and its applications. I will also discuss with the notes. You can just go through the notes. This is your first module notes. Okay, if you want these notes, because I am not making them publicly available because I am writing a textbook on it. So I request you guys to join the WhatsApp group which is given in the description below so that you can, from there you can come up with your, you join there I will put some conditions. If you follow those conditions, you can, you will get the notes personally. Okay, and please do not spread it as a publicly. You read it, you understand it, you study and you write for exam. You are one betterment for you, because if it is become publicly, then whatever efforts I have made, that will go waste. So I am here sitting for you guys, so you can contact me if you have any doubts. Please do not share my notes with anyone. You study, you prepare well and you do best, your best. Once the paper is, the book notes are published as a book, then you are free to do anything whatever you want. So far I am not published, so please respect my privacy, and so that join WhatsApp group and then you ask, inquire there, and I will give you certain conditions. If you follow those, I will be sending notes personally. So let's start. The first question, what the first question says, write a short note on carbohydrates and its applications. So now what are these things? First topic, it's about biomolecules and their applications. So introduction to biomolecules. You don't should I have to write this particular introduction to biomolecules? No. Why? Because the question is very simple. It is asked for 5 marks. 5 marks के लिए for 5 marks, how much you want to write, that only you have to write, right? So write a short note on carbohydrates, in a sense, start with the carbohydrate. Okay, that means you don't have to write all these things. Okay, so just go to the carbohydrates, that is start from here. So write a short note means you need to write in brief what are carbohydrates, write a definition of the carbohydrate, what and all it contains, its formula. Then this comes under, this will have 1 mark or 1.5 mark. Okay, so you are having the definition, you know the components, and you are having the formula. Okay, and minimum 1 mark, maximum 2 marks or 1.5 marks based on the question paper setter, you will get that. Okay, next, classification. We are having the 3 classification. So if the 3 classifications are there and it is there for 5 marks, so then you can imagine 1 mark is for the carbohydrate introduction, 1 single mark for all monosaccharides, single mark for disaccharide explanation, polysaccharide explanation. All these 3 will have 3 marks each, but they are having something called examples like glucose, fructose, galactose. You don't have to write the structure here. For your understanding, I have written. If you remember, you can write, not a problem. Those are very simple structures, but you have to mention glucose as an example for monosaccharides, and disaccharides ka example, this thing. So, and then the polysaccharides ka example, this thing. Okay, cellulose. So you are having the carbohydrates as a definite introduction for 1 mark. Okay, you can go for right for this for 1 mark, and monosaccharide explanation 1 mark, disaccharide explanation 1 mark, polysaccharide explanation 1 mark. Now where do you get another mark? So that mark will be given based on the your examples. If you have given the examples of like for monosaccharide, disaccharide and polysaccharides, you will get half marks, that is 1.5. Another half marks might be for this general formula of all the carbohydrates, that is CnH2n H2O understanding. So this is how the 5 marks you need to divide. You don't have to write everything, you don't have to draw the structures, you don't have to if it is asked for 5 marks I'm talking about. Okay, so that was about this thing. So if time is permitting, because since it is there for only 5 marks, you don't have to write industrial applications of carbohydrates. But if it is asked for more than 5 marks, okay, you have to write the industrial applications, where at least out of this 5 I have given here. So out of 5 industrial applications, you can based on if the same question is asked for 10 marks, you have to write everything whatever is there in the group in the notes understanding. So or I can ask simply, what are carbohydrates, mention its industrial applications. So explain about carbohydrates, that is initial part, which is here, okay, which is here, and then go for the industrial applications. Okay, so that's how the things works. So let's move quickly. Next, explain and illustrate in detail about cellulose based water filters. So based on the cellulose, what are the water filters are there, that we are going to explain. So here explain and illustrate, so 5 marks it is there. Cellulose based water filters. So cellulose based water explanation, all these things might get you 2 marks, and properties of the properties of cellulose based on the water filter might get you 1 mark. So limitation might get you 1 mark, but the construction might get you 2 marks. So that will be your 5 marks. So you don't have to write again everything here. Okay, so what is the main process is there, you are right, and cellulose material used in household, all those things. If extra marks if it is asked, you can write understanding. So you basically understand the questions. Here it is explain and illustrate the details about cellulose based water filter. So cellulose based water filter, you have to give the introduction and the process. Those 2 things are important. Rest things, if time permits, you write, or else it doesn't require. Okay, next same thing goes for PHA. PHA 5 marks, you write the definition, the structure, these all things no need to write. This is for your understanding purpose I have given. So you have to write properties. So introduction will carry 1 mark, okay, examples, all those things. Then properties might give you 1 mark. So then the engineering application might give you 2 marks. So their introduction 2 marks, all these things collectively to 5 marks. Same thing goes for the PLA as bioplastic. Same thing, introduction 2 marks, properties 2 marks, engineering application 1 mark, or properties 1 mark, engineering application 2 marks. Whatever you write more, that will be considered. Okay, so that was about the PHA and PLA. Okay, so now you are having the explain in detail about DNA. Okay, so DNA vaccines. Now speaking about nucleic acids, now they have not asked the nucleic acids, then suddenly you have to go for the DNA vaccines. So you need to write the DNA vaccine here, start from here. So this particular thing will get you 2 marks, whereas the DNA example, that is DNA vaccine for rabies, will give you 2 marks, and importance of DNA vaccine for rabies will give you 1 mark. So these advantages, disadvantages, several key advantages also you can include if it is asked for more marks. Always frame your answer according to marks. Next, DNA fingerprinting for forensic applications. So for forensic applications, DNA has been used, that is actually mentioned here in the DNA fingerprinting. So in here you can write the forensics of what exactly the DNA fingerprint, definition, what are markers, then working is important. Working is 4 steps are there. Those 4 steps might give you around 3 marks, and then whatever the introduction 2 marks, 1 or 2 marks you will get, and later stage whatever it is there, that might get you 2 marks. Okay, so that was about this thing. Then meet analogs of protein and proteins from the plant. So here you don't have to write the what are proteins, functions of the proteins. You have to skip this. So start here, because it is asked for 5 marks, you have to go for protein as food, whereas specifically they have mentioned meat analogs of proteins from the plant. So you don't have to write any of this. So directly go to the point where the meat analogs are there. So meat analogs of protein. Okay, so this will give you 2.5 marks. Okay, whereas plant-based protein will give you 2 marks. Or this plant-based proteins, it is very less, this thing is there, so you can write it for 2 marks, whereas this particular meat analogus might give you the 3 marks. Understanding? So collectively they are asking you for 5 marks. Next, how lipids work as biodiesel, explain, mention engineering lipids of lipid, all those things that we can just go through the lipids topic. Lipids, how they work. So introduction you can give role of lipids, but they are talking about the biodiesel, so you have to directly shift here, my dear, because you can't keep writing what are lipids and all, because how lipids work as biolipids, biodiesel, explain and mention applications like that. So here when there is this thing is there, lipid is as a biodiesel, you start with here. Okay, you can give the definition, but you start with here, you write how it works, advantages and the process, what are the process of obtaining the biodiesel for lipids. This might carry a very important marks, that might be the major 2 or 3 marks, and rest other things might get you 2 marks. Okay, so that's it. So DNA fingerprinting, if it is asked for 10 marks, that was I spoke about 5 marks. So if the DNA fingerprinting or this thing, if meat analogus or proteins is asked for 10 marks, you expand your answer, whatever is being given in the notes, you write all those things, so that you will get the 10 marks. So always frame your questions. Okay, what are nucleic acids? Explain DNA and RNA. So again you go back to the nucleic acids here. Okay, what are nucleic acids? Definition has to be written. Now explain DNA and RNA. So now you start explaining what is DNA and RNA. Write the structure. Diagrams plays a very important role, which can get you 1 or 1.5 marks, and you have to write what are DNA, what are RNA, all those things that we already studied, that you can write. Next, write a note on DNA vaccine and RNA vaccine and mention the application. That means it is you have to explain 2 topics here, 2 subtopics, that is DNA vaccine and RNA vaccine also. So you will have 5 marks for each. So DNA vaccine, give 2 introduction, 1 or 2 marks here, and give importance to DNA vaccine for rabies, which is a very important example, here 2 marks, and importance of DNA vaccine for rabies 1 mark, so 5 marks. RNA vaccine, same thing, explanation might get you 2 marks. So one example, that is RNA vaccines which are used for COVID-19, get you 2 marks, importance will get you 1 mark. Understanding? So totally 10 marks. Next, how proteins and define proteins, explain any 2 types of the engineered proteins. Okay, any types of the engineered proteins. Here you can see the CO of, since it is engineered proteins, so you can go for 1 to 4, because you are going for multidisciplinary. So engineering of this thing, different types of this particular engineered proteins. Again, here you are going to talk about what are proteins. Okay, so proteins are there. There are many proteins I have mentioned here. Protein as food is there, whey protein is there, and plant meat analog is there, and as well as plant based analogs proteins. 3 proteins are there. You have to explain any 2. Okay, so explain any 2 types of the engineered proteins. Next, how lipids can be used in cleaning agents. Justify. So you need to justify how lipids are used in cleaning agents. So you can see the last topic as a lipid. Where are lipids? Just before last topic. Yes, here it is. Lipid as biodiesel. You have to write how it is used as detergent, or obtaining this thing, what you say, the detergent. So this is the topic 5.2, which is subtopic under lipids, that is lipids as cleaning agents or detergents. You start with here, so you will be getting the around the different options like personal care, industrial cleaning, laundry detergent cleaning. All these things will get you 2 marks, that is half mark each. So you are having the next as a example of the lipids, might get you 1 mark. Advantages, disadvantage will get you 1 mark. So 4 over. Next, working principle of cleaning of the lipid, how exactly the cleaning is done, might get you 1 mark. So you will, total 5 marks will be ready. Next, here some spelling mistakes are there, that I will correct before sending. Next, discuss about enzymes. Enumerate engineering applications of enzymes. So here you have to discuss about enzymes with shortly. For 2 marks you might get here. Enumerate means you need to list out the engineering applications of enzymes. So that will be carry 3 marks. Understanding? So enzymes, give the detailed explanation, engineering applications of enzymes. So here for 2 marks that, 2 marks this. So here 1 mark will might be for your explanation of enzymes, 1 mark will be for your diagram. So you need to, that is the discussion, and then suddenly you have to give the explanation, enumerate. That means you have to list out these particular applications, engineering application of the enzymes. So that was 13th question. Next 14th question, what are biosensors? Explain with a need sketch. So here we are having under the enzyme only, we are having biosensor. So define biosensor. No, you don't have to write everything which is written here. Okay, stick on to your question paper. Question paper, what it says for 5 marks, define what are biosensors. So you will be having 1 mark for this. Maximum 1 or 2 sentences you can finish it off. You will get 1 mark. Next, you need to explain its working with the need sketch. So working means enzymes used in biosensors. You can give a just best explanation. You don't have to write all these enzymes because it is not asked. You can direct shift to the biosensors here. The glucose oxidase biosensor is an example because you need to explain about working of this particular sensor. Okay, so like that. So glucose oxidase sensors is there already. So here for enzymes, if it is asked in the same question, you can write the detailed explanation of biosensor here, but try to draw the diagram by biosensors in both the topics. Okay, because biosensors in the sense it's a device, right? For both the topics, try to draw the diagrams of biosensors. Next, describe lignolytic enzyme in biobleaching applications. So that is very important. So here biobleaching is there, lignolytic enzyme, which is separate enzyme which is used in biobleaching. Here we can explain, give a introduction, 1 mark, advantages might get you 2 marks, drawbacks might get you, advantages and disadvantages might get you 2 marks. Whereas lignolytic enzyme in biobleaching, how exactly it works, will get you 2 marks. So 2 plus 2 plus 1, so that will be 5. So that's the end of the module 1 notes along with the model question paper. So if any doubts are there, please let me know. We can have the, what do you say, so these are the maximum possible questions, 16 possible questions of based on the around 6 topics, 6 or 7 topics I have given here. So there might be many questions, but you have to understand the question first. When if I ask define something, define lipids and explain biodiesel, about lipids used in biodiesel, you have to give a very less importance to the introduction part. You don't have to write all the things whatever you have studied in the notes. So that is very important. Keep it in mind. Always remember how exactly the questions are asked. So that need to be done. With the need sketch, explain glucose oxidase biosensor means you have to draw the sketch, understanding. And then what are nucleic acids in the sense, you have to define just nucleic acids and you have to explain what is DNA and what is RNA. Then write about on DNA and RNA means equal importance is given here. Okay, equal importance is given here. Mention their application. Even for that also equal importance is given. So if it is 10 marks, 5 marks is divided for DNA, 5 marks will be for RNA, understanding. So like that you have to define. Here define protein. You have to only define protein. Don't keep on explaining whatever is there in introduction. Then you have to just explain any 2 types of the engineered proteins, like it may be whey protein or it may be some other plant protein, whatever it is. Okay, so like that. So understand the concepts, then you will go for it. Module 2 ka we will discuss in the next class.